Hi, Radiant Leo Soul. This isn't just another horoscope reading. This is a cosmic wake-up call, a danger day warning, and it could mark the very turning point of your life. Let me ask you something. What if today, right now, is the moment the universe has been preparing you for? What if one choice, one realization, could redirect your destiny forever? If you've landed on this video, it's not by accident. Energy like this doesn't bring people together randomly. You were guided here. There is something your soul already knows but needs you to remember, and I'm here to help you remember it. April 10th carries a vibration that's different. Potent. It's a day marked by movement, revelations, and yes, potential danger. But not danger in the form of disaster, danger in the form of distraction, temptation, impulsive reaction, and emotional storms that can throw you off course if you're not grounded. That's why we're here. To realign you with your true power and illuminate the path that leads toward clarity, not chaos. So before we dive into the deep spiritual waters of your reading, take a deep breath with me. This space, this moment, is sacred. You've entered a realm where ancient wisdom meets modern transformation. Where you're not just a zodiac sign, you're a living expression of the universe in motion. And on this day, your decisions matter more than ever. Let me take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for your presence here. Every like you give, every thoughtful comment you leave, and every time you subscribe to Eternal Mindfulness, you become part of something greater, a soul family that is growing, evolving, and healing together. Your support is what makes it possible to continue sharing these transformative messages with hearts like yours. And trust me, beloved Leo, you're going to want to stay until the very last second of this video, because what the universe is about to reveal will shake something loose within you. Not to scare you, but to awaken you. To remind you of who you are beneath all the noise, the fear, the ego, and the weight of the past. You are not here to play small. You are not here to shrink or stay silent. You are here to roar, to rise, and to reclaim what's always been yours, your light, your power, and your path. So let's set a powerful intention together. Right now, in the comments below, type a sacred number, your angel number, your soul number, whatever comes to mind. And write this affirmation beside it. I choose my light on April 10th. Because once you declare it, you shift the energy. You tell the universe, I'm ready. I'm awake. I'm in alignment. And from that moment on, everything can begin to change. Now, are you ready to discover what this danger day really means for you, Leo? If so, let's go deeper. Because the next few minutes might just be the most important message you've received all month. There's something about the quiet between moments, the space where awareness flickers before a choice is made, that holds the greatest power. As we step deeper into the energy of April 10th, the universe isn't merely whispering, it's speaking clearly, through symbols, sensations, and subtle internal shifts. And for you, Leo, these are not random occurrences. They are messages, encoded in time and emotion, inviting you to pause, listen, and remember who you are beneath the surface. The three cards that appeared, the High Priestess, Strength, and Justice, aren't just archetypes. They are mirrors reflecting the different dimensions of your present experience. They are not predictions. They are invitations. Each one a doorway into greater clarity, if you're willing to walk through it with honesty and stillness. The High Priestess always comes when the answers are no longer outside of you. This card is a gentle reminder that not everything important can be seen with the eyes or measured with logic. Sometimes, truth comes in silence. Sometimes, your gut knows before your mind can explain. You may sense a person hiding something, or feel hesitation about a decision even though it looks right. Don't dismiss these whispers. Your intuition is your oldest compass. If you feel pulled toward, or away from, something today, trust that feeling. It may be the universe's way of protecting you or preparing you for a breakthrough you can't yet name. Strength, appearing next, deepens the lesson. But here, strength isn't the roaring kind you're used to. It's not about overpowering, but rather staying open when your instinct is to close. Staying centered when life is pulling you in every direction. This is the kind of strength that comes from restraint, from soft power. Think of the river that carves stone over centuries, not by force, but by persistence and presence. You, Leo, are known for your fire, but it's your discipline, your capacity to hold space for discomfort without reacting, that will define this turning point. The emotional landscape around you may feel intense, misunderstandings, impatience, or even the resurfacing of past wounds. You are not being punished. You are being refined. As the old teachings remind us, the fire does not burn the gold, it purifies it. Then comes justice, calm, balanced, and exact. This card does not offer comfort, but it does offer truth. It is the law of cause and effect, unfolding with perfect neutrality. What you plant now, you will harvest later. This is not punishment, but pattern. Your actions today are seeds, and the way you respond to challenges is the soil in which they grow. Every word spoken, every boundary drawn, every choice to pause instead of react, it all carries weight. Not because the universe is watching to judge you, but because it is echoing back what you offer it. Taken together, these three energies create a powerful triangle of awareness. Intuition, the High Priestess, is the inner listening that precedes your movement. Discipline, strength, is the integrity you bring into your actions. And karma, justice, is the natural unfolding of those actions over time. You are being guided toward conscious choice, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. And there is something profoundly beautiful about that, because in this moment, you are not being told what to do. You are being reminded that you already know. This day, this reading, this energy, it is a mirror and a map. And while others may choose distraction or denial, you are being invited into deep presence. Into responsibility, not as a burden, but as a sacred privilege. Because what you choose from this state of clarity becomes more than just a decision, it becomes a declaration of who you are becoming. Let this be the moment you listen. Let this be the moment you respond, not from fear, but from light. And let the light you choose today illuminate the path you walk tomorrow. Sometimes, the heart moves faster than the mind can catch up, and before we know it, we're already halfway down an emotional path without asking ourselves why. As we shift into the next wave of energy for today, Leo, what's coming to the surface is not just about love, it's about clarity. It's about discerning what's real from what's simply familiar, magnetic, or temporarily comforting. The universe has a way of presenting people or moments that awaken old feelings, sometimes as opportunities, and sometimes as tests. There's a presence around you now that feels intense. It might be someone returning from the past, or someone new whose energy draws you in like a flame to the wind. But before you lose yourself in the pull of connection, this is the moment to pause and reflect, not out of fear, but out of respect for your own journey. Are you being drawn to this person because your heart is open and aligned, or because part of you is craving validation, reassurance, or escape? These are gentle but important questions. Just like clouds can distort the shape of the moon, emotional projection can distort the true nature of a relationship. What you see might be a reflection of what you hope for, rather than what is. This is especially important if you're already in a relationship. Emotions may run high today, and your natural fiery response, especially when feeling misunderstood, can either build bridges or burn them. The key isn't to suppress how you feel. It's to hold space for your feelings without letting them make the decisions. Words spoken in haste can create wounds that linger far longer than the moment. But when you respond from awareness instead of impulse, you give yourself and your partner the gift of deeper understanding. The space between reaction and response is where wisdom grows. One of the oldest teachings reminds us that real love is not about possession or power, it's about seeing and allowing. Letting the other person be who they are without molding them into an image that serves your comfort. And letting yourself be fully honest, without guilt or self-deception. When the heart is quiet enough, it knows whether it's expanding in the presence of someone, or shrinking to make room for them. Leo, your passion is a gift, but passion without presence can become projection. That's why this moment is asking you not to act quickly, but to listen deeply. What is it you truly want? To be seen? To be loved? Or to feel safe? There's no wrong answer, but clarity brings power. And only when you know your own why, can you see the truth in someone else's energy. You may also feel drawn to fantasize about a version of love that solves all problems or saves you from your own doubts. But no person can complete what only presence can offer. True connection is built not on intensity alone, but on shared awareness, steady trust, and emotional honesty. There's nothing wrong with feeling strongly, but let those feelings rise, and then ask, are they rooted in reality, or in what you wish reality could be? Like the stillness at the center of a flame, you have the ability today to find balance inside your passion. To observe your emotional world without being consumed by it. And in doing so, you'll notice something powerful. The right relationships never demand that you shrink, perform, or chase. They meet you where you are, without drama, without distortion. So whatever arises today, whether it's a text from someone you thought you were over, a powerful new attraction, or tension in your current relationship, hold it gently. Step back, breathe, and ask yourself, is this love, or is this a lesson dressed in desire? Only you can know the answer. But when you ask the question honestly, the truth will always rise. Not all movement is progress, and not every opportunity is meant to be seized the moment it appears. As we transition into the financial and career energies surrounding you today, Leo, the atmosphere may feel charged, like something big is on the verge of unfolding. And in truth, it is. But how you respond to that charge will determine whether this becomes a breakthrough or a moment of avoidable detour. The tension between action and inaction, impulse and patience, is where your wisdom is being tested. On days like April 10th, the air is heavy with potential, but also with pressure. You may feel an urge to make a bold financial move, accept or walk away from a job offer, or speak out about something that's been bothering you at work. And while your instincts are often sharp, today they may be clouded by a subtle sense of urgency that doesn't come from truth, but from fear of missing out. The deeper truth is this: when decisions are made from pressure rather than clarity, they rarely lead where you want to go. There is an illusion floating around today, the illusion of control, the idea that if you just act quickly enough, decisively enough, you can steer everything back into balance. But that very grasping can become the thing that pulls you off course. Sometimes, holding back is not a sign of weakness, but of mastery. There's a timeless teaching that says, water never fights to shape the rock, it simply flows until the rock yields. In this moment, you are being asked to flow with awareness, not force with will. So if an investment looks too good to be true, or a career move feels like it must be made right now, give yourself permission to pause. Not out of fear, but out of self-respect. Rushing a decision under pressure can lead you into longer detours than any delay ever could. Ask yourself, am I doing this because it aligns with my deeper values and long-term vision? Or am I reacting to discomfort, competition, or the illusion of lack? Leo, your natural confidence is one of your greatest gifts, but confidence does not mean saying yes to everything. It means trusting yourself enough to wait for the right moment. And that right moment will often feel calm, grounded, and certain, not urgent and confusing. Learning to recognize that difference is part of your evolution, especially in the realm of career and wealth. This doesn't mean you'll miss out on success. In fact, the opposite is true. There are promising shifts stirring beneath the surface right now, unexpected offers, surprising breakthroughs, or even second chances you thought were long gone. But they are not rushing toward you, they are waiting for you to rise into alignment. And that happens through presence, not panic. Through discernment, not overreaction. A key insight for today is to remember that energy flows where intention goes. If your financial choices are rooted in fear, resentment, or the need to prove something, that energy will ripple through the outcome. But if your actions come from grounded intention, choosing from clarity, patience, and purpose, you align yourself with flow, not force. This is how wealth moves toward you rather than away from you. And if delays arise, if that money doesn't show up yet, if that job doesn't call back today, try not to resist it. There is a difference between being patient and being passive. You can hold your vision while allowing divine timing to unfold, knowing that what is yours cannot be lost. Delays are often redirections in disguise. The seed doesn't grow faster when you dig it up, it grows when you nurture the soil and trust the process. Today, your work is to move with care. Speak with clarity. Invest in what feeds your future, not just your ego. And above all, remember, the most powerful choice isn't always the loudest one. It's the one made with quiet certainty, even when the world around you feels uncertain. The energy of decision, desire, and drive often burns brightest in Leo, and on a day like today, that flame can feel almost uncontrollable. After navigating the layered questions of love and the delicate balance of career and finances, what rises now is something even more essential: how you manage your own energy. Not just where it flows, but how it's held. Because no matter how aligned your intentions may be, if your inner world is chaotic, the results will always mirror that unrest. You may feel a restless kind of electricity buzzing through you right now. It might present as urgency, frustration, or even random bursts of creativity or irritability. And the temptation, especially for someone with your solar power, is to release that energy quickly, to act, speak, or move in ways that feel instinctive in the moment but may not be rooted in true awareness. This is the fire element at its most raw, and while it's beautiful, it's also unpredictable. The lesson here isn't to suppress your passion, it's to learn how to anchor it. There's an ancient understanding that true strength comes not from reaction but from stillness. Just like a lion doesn't waste energy chasing every sound in the savannah, you too are invited to conserve your power, to direct it with intention rather than impulse. Today's intensity may bring people or situations that test your boundaries. Someone might trigger old wounds. A delay might poke at your pride. You might even find yourself wanting to confront or prove something. But what would happen if you simply watched that urge rise and fall, without becoming it? Sometimes, the most powerful action is a breath. A pause. A decision to not respond until the heart has settled. In teachings passed down through generations, it's said that the mind is like the surface of a lake. When stirred, we cannot see through it. But when still, its reflection reveals everything. Your challenge today is to bring that stillness into the heat of your emotions. To become aware of your rising energy, not as something to fix, but as something to understand. This is a good time to withdraw gently from noise, the kind that comes from other people's drama, overstimulation, or even your own inner critic. Try limiting interactions that feel draining or triggering. Not out of avoidance, but out of wisdom. Recenter yourself through quiet rituals, writing, meditative walks, or just being present with your breath. The smallest practices can act like cooling winds against your inner fire, returning you to your core. It's easy to forget, especially on charged days, that your energy is sacred. It's not meant to be scattered across too many obligations or emotional entanglements. It's meant to be focused, calm, and aligned with your deeper purpose. And when it is, things fall into place more naturally, people respond differently, synchronicities appear, and decisions become clearer without you forcing anything. But when you allow that fire to flare unchecked, even the right things can burn too quickly. So if today feels heavy, fiery, or emotionally sharp, try to view it as a mirror, not a punishment. The moments that test your emotional balance are often the ones with the most potential for growth. And growth doesn't always look like movement, it often looks like silence, restraint, or the grace of choosing not to ignite what you could easily set ablaze. The power you're seeking today isn't outside you. It's in your ability to carry your fire wisely, to warm, not to scorch. To light the path ahead, not to burn the one behind you. After moving through the inner world of your personal energy, the next layer asks you to bring that same awareness outward, into your closest relationships. This is where things can feel both tender and complicated. The people we love, the ones we let closest, often see sides of us that even we don't fully understand. And because of that intimacy, even small words or gestures can carry an unexpected weight. Today, that truth becomes more pronounced. You may find that a single sentence, meant casually or even with good intent, creates a ripple far larger than expected. It isn't about walking on eggshells. It's about understanding that communication is more than words. It's energy, timing, tone, and context. On days like today, when emotions can run close to the surface and tension quietly brews beneath the calm, what's unspoken often speaks the loudest. That's why a gentle pause, a moment of silence before speaking, can be more valuable than any carefully chosen phrase. Not because you're censoring yourself, but because you're creating space for true intention to rise. When we speak from a reactive mind, we plant seeds of confusion. But when we speak from clarity, even difficult truths can take root in understanding. If you feel something weighing on your chest, a thought you've been meaning to share, a frustration you've been carrying, it may be wise to write it down first. Let it breathe on paper. This practice helps transform emotion into insight. You may discover that what felt urgent was actually just a passing cloud, or that what you needed to say is still true, but softened with greater compassion. Timing, as always, is everything. And in relationships, the right truth at the wrong time can still create distance. You might also notice that today brings subtle revelations about the people around you. Maybe someone's tone feels off, or you begin to see patterns that don't align with your growth. These realizations aren't here to create judgment, they're here to help you discern. Who supports you not just when it's convenient, but when you're challenged? Who listens, not to respond, but to understand? These are the quiet questions that guide you toward relational clarity. And on the other end, who drains you, subtly questions your worth, or pulls you back into habits you've outgrown? Sometimes, discomfort in connection is not a failure of love, it's a signal that the relationship is evolving, or that it may no longer serve who you're becoming. There is compassion in distance, too. To release something or someone with love is not cruelty, it is wisdom. It is the recognition that not all connections are meant to last forever, and that's okay. In traditions that value mindfulness and the observation of cause and effect, we are reminded that each interaction holds potential, not just for connection, but for awakening. The way you listen, speak, and hold space for others becomes part of your practice. And this practice, when done consciously, strengthens the bonds that nourish you while gently loosening those that no longer align with your heart. So as you move through today, let presence be your guide. Let kindness lead your words, and let silence be a companion when noise isn't needed. There's no need to rush into resolutions or force clarity where it hasn't yet formed. What matters is your intention, your attention, and your willingness to see others, and yourself, with honesty and care. When you begin from that place, even the most fragile conversations can unfold into healing. As we come to the close of this journey together, I want to leave you with something simple but deeply powerful. This was never a bad day. It was a breakthrough waiting to happen. April 10th may have shown up with tension, questions, or even emotional turbulence, but that doesn't mean it came to tear you down. It came to show you something raw, honest, and deeply needed. It came to remind you that pressure creates diamonds, and discomfort often signals the edge of a transformation you didn't know you were ready for. You've seen how every area of your life today has asked for something more presence in your relationships, more intention in your actions, more truth in how you show up for yourself. The choices you're being invited to make aren't small. They are defining. Not in the dramatic, all-or-nothing way we sometimes imagine, but in the quiet consistency of how you hold your energy, how you pause before speaking, how you say yes or no from alignment instead of impulse. And so now I gently ask you, what will you choose today? Will you repeat an old reaction that once kept you safe but now keeps you stuck? Or will you choose the newer, more conscious version of yourself who is ready to respond with grace? Will you chase something that feeds your ego, or take a step towards something that honors your growth? These aren't questions meant to overwhelm you, they're meant to awaken you. Because you don't need to be perfect to change your life. You just need to be aware. And once you're aware, you become powerful in ways you may not even realize yet. This danger day is only dangerous when we're asleep at the wheel of our own awareness. But you're not asleep anymore. You've seen the signs. You've felt the shifts. And now you get to decide, how will I move forward from here? One of the most beautiful truths I've learned from guiding this work is that transformation rarely announces itself. It doesn't always come with lightning bolts or applause. Sometimes, it's as quiet as choosing not to react. As gentle as taking 3 deep breaths. As powerful as saying to yourself, I am no longer available for the patterns that hurt me. So I want to encourage you, Leo, let this be the day you chose light. Not because it's easy, but because it's yours. Let this be the day you look back on and say, that's the moment I started showing up differently. That's the moment I remembered who I am. And if this message resonated with you, I'd love for you to anchor it into reality right now. Head to the comments and write, I choose to be awake on April 10th, I receive my destiny. Let this be your declaration. Let it be the start of a conversation with your future self. If you found value in this video, if even one line made you pause, reflect, or breathe deeper, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with someone you care about. It might just be the nudge they didn't know they needed today. Every like, every comment, and every subscription fuels this growing family at Eternal Mindfulness, and allows these messages to continue reaching the people who need them most. So I thank you, from my heart, for showing up. For doing the work. For choosing to listen deeply when it would be easier to scroll past. That matters more than you know. And as always, trust the process, honor your light, and never underestimate the power of a single, conscious choice. Until next time, take care of your energy, trust your timing, and remember, you are always just one choice away from a completely different life.